I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater. I'm not sure why this is called Night of Terror, because everything I saw happened in the daytime. The Seaview was lowering the diving bell with Admiral Nelson, Chief Sharkey, and Dr. Sprague, a geologist. Part of the Seaview's scientific mission is to locate natural resources to exploit. According to Dr. Sprague, they've hit the mother lode.
Look at those deposits, Admiral. I've never seen deposits of hydrillium in such quantity.
The coordinates were 100% accurate.
You're the geologist, Dr. Sprague. You led us to them.
Nonsense. I was fortunate to be assigned to you by the World Commission. I believe that between us, we've located ore for exotic fuel that'll advance our space exploration half a century.
I'm not sure whether he said hydrillium or idrillium, but since neither one actually exists, I suppose it's not that important. He believes this stuff will be the key to speeding up interplanetary exploration by providing a new, better type of fuel. Right now, when we send a probe to another planet, we point it in the right direction, get it up to speed, and then turn the engine off. Forward momentum does the rest, and since there's no atmosphere or other stuff to get in the way, the craft drifts along at full speed until we tell it to use its engines and slow down. Now, imagine having sufficient fuel to kick the engines into overdrive and get to Mars in a week instead of 3 to 6 months. That's the ultimate goal. Dr. Sprague figures what they've found here can make that happen.
Well, there's more than that out there, Doctor. There's beryllium, lithium, manganese nodules. It's an amazingly wealthy source for rare minerals of all kinds.
Yes, well, of course, the commercial aspect doesn't concern me. It's the all-out push for intergalactic fuel that interests me.
Okay, intergalactic may be a bit ambitious right now. Let's start with interplanetary, shall we? He wants a closer look, so they'll start down some more.
Skipper. What is it? Sudden change of pattern, sir. Full-scale disturbance bearing 030.
Disturbance? We've had no warnings from meteorology? Oh, that's right. Scale reading 7.3.
Could it be a severe earthquake, sir?
Oh, I don't think so, Kowalski. Looks more like a tidal wave, and it's approaching fast.
It is a tidal wave, but tidal waves don't just happen spontaneously. Something causes them. They can worry about that later.
Unbelievable. We can start mining operations in 2 months. And our first spaceship, Jupiter, will be able to blast off precisely on schedule.
That's assuming he can get back to the States, report this, and get the ball rolling. That's not a sure thing right now. Whatever that disturbance is, it's coming at them hard. Get the diving bell back up, quick. Never mind. Minor spoiler, they're going to have to get a new diving bell when this is over. While they're at it, they need to replace that cable with one about 3 times as thick. This isn't the first time that dinky thing they're using is broken. You'd think after the first time they'd learn, but they are technically a government operation. Captain Crane will initiate both sonar and physical searches for the bell, though the Seaview has its own problems. They need to make some repairs, but they can't surface to do it because it's too turbulent up there. And he's not going to find the diving bell that way anyway, for one simple reason: it's not in the water.
Admiral! Look at that. It's impossible.
But it's true, Doctor. We're on land.
Without their tether to the Seaview, that tidal wave picked them up and threw them like a beach ball. While Sharkey tries to get the radio working, Nelson and Sprague will go take a look. Okay, that's a good enough look. You know, if we can learn the name and location of this island, then we know where Irwin stashes his creations in between uses. On the Seaview, Chip Morton takes a team outside to do some underwater welding on the hull, but a group of hungry sharks chases them back inside, so scratch that idea. That part of the hull will remain weakened. Because of it, they'll have to stay above 1,000 feet and hope for the best. Admiral, shooting it there is like hitting your fist on a tank. Aim for a vulnerable spot. I hate to say it, but... yeah, do that. All such creatures have two very vulnerable spots, and hitting one or the other or both of them will stop most monsters in their tracks. The eyes. That's where he hit it, and it immediately took off for parts unknown. It sounds cruel to try to deliberately blind a creature, but when it's him or you, there's a time for flexible ethics. While Sharkey continues to work on the radio, Nelson and Sprague will go try to find a beach.
Some beach.
Ready, Doctor?
Yes, Admiral. I guess so. Although, to tell you the truth, I find this island very frightening.
I'm not so happy about it myself. Once we get to the beach, we can build a signal fire.
Yes, but which way do we go?
Looks like one way's as good as another.
Not really. Check the slope of the ground. You want to be going downhill. However gradually it may be, ground everywhere slopes in some way. This is a volcanic island, so if you're going uphill, you're going inland. That's also a handy way to get your bearings if you're scuba diving and get turned around. You can't go wrong by going uphill because that's taking you toward the surface. You know, the place where you actually live. In Nelson's case, he can't go wrong by going downhill because it's taking him toward the water. You know, the place where he actually lives.
Admiral! What do you make of that?
Better leave it alone. We don't know what it is, and we got no time to theorize about it now. Hey, Sprague, come on. Sprague.
Oh, I'm sorry, Admiral.
There it is. I've been waiting for that. Henry Jones is one of my favorite character actors. He and Sally Field are the two bright points of light in The Girl with Something Extra, which we've been looking at in TV fails. That little half smile was one of his trademarks, and I can't get enough of it. It's that smirk that says, I know something you don't. Right now the question is, why are we seeing it? 10 seconds ago he was terrified. What happened when the island farted at him? And perhaps even more important, why hasn't Admiral Nelson noticed the drastic change in his demeanor? Within seconds, Sprague has wandered off by himself and isn't answering Nelson's yells.
Sprague, answer me! Lee, where did you come from? Lee, wait, come back.
Ask yourself why he wasn't talking. Later. Right now, that monster is taking another look at the diving bell, and Sharkey's Colt doesn't have enough power to stop it. Hey, it does look like a toy ball to him, and on the actual set it probably is. But how'd they teach the lizard to play with it?
I knew you'd be here. I knew it.
There's some kind of hallucinogenic gas on the island, and it's affecting both of them. Nelson sees Lee Crane, his best friend. Sprague sees Robin Hood the pirate. Right now, Sharkey is seeing stars. Between the tidal wave and that creature, it's a good thing he has a hard head. Another shot from Nelson's laser rifle, and the dinosaur doesn't want to play anymore.
Steve, you there? In one piece, I think.
He has a great new idea for a carnival ride. He had just gotten communications back up and was about to try and call the Seaview. Nelson will do that.
Latest seismograph report. Doesn't look good.
That's no surprise, Chip. A secondary shock usually follows a tidal wave. The only question is how hard and how soon it'll hit.
Less than 3 hours this time. The weather room says the pressure that's building is terrific. We may have to stop the search.
No. We've got to find that diving bell.
We can't dive below the turbulence. Frame 34 will split wide open.
All right, we've got to take that chance. It's the only thing that matters now.
Nelson to Seaview. Nelson to Seaview.
The Admiral describes the island they're on. It shouldn't be too hard to find, put her in high gear, and head the same direction that tidal wave was going.
We're marooned here, and we're being attacked by some kind of a giant lizard.
Admiral, hurry up. Get out.
What?
Admiral, hurry.
It's back, and I don't think it wants to play this time. That ball is no fun. It makes owies on the face. Captain Crane caught just enough to make him think they're all crazy. He and Kowalski will take the flying sub and go look for the island. On the island, Nelson and Sharkey have found Sprague. He says he was trying to find his way back to the bell.
The overgrown Gila monster got to it like a dog with a bone.
That's too bad.
What's going on with you, Sprague? You all right? What's the matter? You seeing things?
Well, we better be getting on, hadn't we, Admiral? You want to find the beach, don't you?
We can do that as soon as you tell us why you were making nonverbal signals at a tree. This time they'll keep Sprague between them so he can't go anywhere but where they go. Nelson couldn't do that before because there's only one of him.
All right. We better take 5.
Admiral, we got company.
Madrid, 1578. That's exactly 400 years ago.
They chat a little about the possibility that this island was a pirate hangout or rendezvous point. Dr. Sprague thinks the cutlass looks like fun, so he's gonna go buckle a few swashes. Yeah, you're great against an unarmed opponent, but how would it be if that tree also had a sword?
Look at this. That's a Spanish doubloon, Admiral. That's 400 years old. You know what that means? There's pirate treasure on this island. Maybe untold wealth. Maybe more valuable than the ores we found in the sea. Let's look for it.
More likely, it means one of the Manila galleons stopped here and somebody's purse had a hole in it. Probably the guy who used to own the sword.
There's another tidal wave coming in less than 3 hours.
Admiral, there's treasure on this island for the taking. I know it.
They've calculated that this next wave will destroy the island completely. How valuable is your treasure in Bikini Bottom?
No.
I'm going to look for it myself.
We're moving on.
Admiral.
Remember what I said about keeping in between them? I may look like a big guy, but I'm a geek scholar like Dr. Sprague. I wouldn't want to challenge the chief.
What is it?
He got away.
He can't describe it. I would have said it was an Irwin Allen creation if I ever saw one. Now his pistol is empty and he doesn't have any extra clips. Good thing he kept that cutlass. While they're trying to sort that out, Sprague's pirate reappears and he sneaks away. He just knows his new friend is going to lead him to the treasure. They start comparing notes. Nelson saw Captain Crane, Sharkey saw that thing, and neither could possibly be here, so they must be hallucinating. Armed with that information, they realize they've misplaced Sprague again. That gas or whatever it is must be fairly light because it's reaching several hundred feet in the air.
I'd hate to be down there in that place. Must be awful hot and muggy.
Anything wrong?
No, sir. Just that some mist seems to be coming through the ventilation ports.
The system doesn't have filters? The guys on the ground can hear the flying sub overhead, but nobody can see each other through the jungle canopy. Actually, check that. Sprague and the pirate can see each other.
Help me!
I've talked about quicksand many times, but there's no need to here because that's not even remotely quicksand. That's a simple sand pit. Still, if he sinks completely into it, his lungs aren't going to care what it is.
Help! Help! Help me! Help me!
Not helping. Good thing somebody real just got here. It'll take a lot of imagination and ingenuity to get him out. And he's not making it any easier because no matter how much Admiral Nelson tells him to stop struggling and put his arms out, he keeps kicking and sinking lower. It's touch and go for a while, but creative use of some vines and a lot of muscle power wins the day.
I'll get him! Hold on! Give me a hand.
Suddenly, Sharky's pants came off and they all fell into the pit. Up in the sky, they've spotted what could be the wreckage of the diving bell.
Hold on, Skipper. What's the matter? The mountain, Skipper, the mountain? What mountain? Level off! Level off! We have to clear the peak! Level off!
Maybe he should have asked himself how it got there so suddenly when they were looking at a jungle island. On said island, Sprague is out of the sand. After his little brush with death, he's appropriately grateful for the rescue.
Oh, wait. My treasure. I gotta get back to my treasure.
Sprague, I don't know what you think you found down there, but whatever it wasn't treasure. Let's move on.
My treasure! My treasure! I heard the Admiral. Move!
I do believe he would have walked right back into that sand pit. But I have to remember that he got a much bigger snoot full of that gas than the others did, so he's tripping balls.
Pull up, Kowalski. Pull up.
Let go, sir. You'll smash us up.
The mountain! Veer to port! To port!
The flying sub settles on the bottom. As soon as its crew awakens, the Seaview calls.
Lee, we're standing off the island periscope depth. Where are you? Have you found Admiral Nelson?
Not yet.
Our latest tidal wave reports show wave impact you in 50 minutes, more or less.
I'm going ashore now. If you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, get out of the storm area immediately.
They're on the bottom. Is he going to scuba to the island? Our 3 castaways have taken refuge from the lizard in a small cave. Sharkey just found the back door.
Still nosing around the entrance. Let's get down to the beach.
I once saw a gopher do the same thing to my dog. On the beach, they can't see any sign of the Seaview or the flying sub.
You think that tidal wave will hit us?
Indeed I do.
Well, what are we going to do?
A wave of any magnitude will swamp the island, and there's no possible cover.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Now, hold on, Sprague. Where do you think you're going?
I'm gonna get my treasure.
And do what with it? Is it really gonna comfort you when that wave smashes you to pieces?
You gonna get your what?
I know it's there. Nothing's gonna stop me from getting it now.
All right, Sprague, I keep telling you there's no treasure there. It's all an hallucination.
Okay, I say leave him, but help just arrived.
Hey, Skipper, so good to see you.
Lee, I hope it's really you this time.
It is, Admiral.
The Seaview and the flying sub are offshore. We gotta get off this island right away.
Not till we find Sprague. Here, come here, miss. You come with me. Chief, stay here and maintain contact with Seaview.
All right.
Surprisingly enough, Sprague did have the good sense to go around the sand pit this time.
Hey. Sprague. Sprague, we gotta get off this island.
Not without my treasure. Belongs to me. It's all mine. Come on, we've got to move. You can't have any now. Belongs to me. Come on, we've got to move. No, you can't have any. I won't let you.
But you don't understand that Stump is going to make him rich. Somebody probably should have done that half an hour ago.
Chip, we're ready to take off in the raft. Can you see us?
Yes, sir, we have you in our sights. And Kowalski has the flying sub operational.
Good, but we can't take off without covering fire from you. We have nothing to stop that creature, and it has to be destroyed. Use short-range missiles. Nothing else will even put a dent in him. Give us 2 minutes to get clear of the shore, then fire the moment you see it.
Admiral, the margin of error...
We've got to take some chances, Chip. 2 minutes. Out.
Why bother? Won't the tidal wave take care of it? He said they can't launch until it's dead, but I'm not sure why. Right now, there's a bigger problem. One guy can't get to the boat. Go this way, around that rock, go into the water, climb in the boat, paddle like a maniac.
Well, it's got you trapped. We can't move on.
I told you to shove off. Now, that's an order.
Okay, Chief, shove off.
Aye, sir. Nelson to Seaview. Fire your missile, Chip.
Fire one.
Maybe it's just me, but shooting an ICBM into the stratosphere so it can come down on one little dinosaur seems a little expensive. While Admiral Nelson takes shelter in the cave, the missile does its job. He has a clear path to the beach and the boat. Everybody is back aboard the Seaview just in time to ride out the tidal wave.
Well, there's no point in charting that island, gentlemen. It doesn't exist anymore.
Incredible how it disappeared.
That second tidal wave destroyed it completely.
Well, no great loss, I'd say.
Right, Captain. Between that creature and the horrors we all hallucinated, we were lucky to get off alive. What I'll never understand is my obsession with that pirate treasure.
That's easy. At heart, you're Daffy Duck.
What's with you anyway? I can't help it. I'm a greedy slob. It's my hobby.
Well, perhaps it was something buried deep in your unconscious.
That's right. Your version of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yes, but I've always been a very careful, very rational man with a firm grip on reality. Now I don't know what was real and what was illusory.
Well, this was real in any case. Compliments of the Seaview, sir.
I found it impossible to calculate what that would be worth in 1978, which is when this story is supposed to take place. I'd take it to Sotheby's and put it up for auction, but that's just me. I'm constantly amazed at how much mileage Irwin got out of those lizards he created. What I couldn't tell is whether this is new footage or if he reused film from somewhere else. It really doesn't matter. Using a real lizard and training it not only to play ball but to smash the ball with its tail is a category of its own. This does qualify as a monster of the week, except that this week we had 3 monsters: the lizard, the tidal wave, and the psychedelic gas. The combination of the 3 made for a much more interesting story than any one of them by itself would have given us. Racing against the clock, dodging a huge creature, while doubting your own senses made for a captivating plot. What each of the 3 saw in their hallucinations told us a lot about them, too. Admiral Nelson values his friendship with Lee Crane above all else. Chief Sharkey saw something that threatened the Admiral. He's fiercely loyal to his officers and crew, and he feels protective of all of them. As for Dr. Sprague, we learned that he's
A greedy slob.
With apologies to Seth Meyers, I'm Irving, this is Hazel, and we'll see you next time.
All I gotta do is breathe underwater. Breathe underwater. Breathe underwater.
Resources to explain. To what? They're gonna have check. Don't bite yourself. A huge creature? Really, David? How much? Oh, good grief, really? Now I'm farting at the camera.